So Dominic and Srikar, once again, the physical activities, whatever you have mentioned right now, whether in Switzerland or in India, are they really sport specific, or do they have any other benefits for a kid in future for him, for his life and all?
So even though sport-specific activities are definitely a key for the reason to do a very well done early development of motor skills for young children, it's definitely not the only reason. There's a lot of other benefits of having an early foundation for young children that is very versatile. So it includes all the motor skills. One of the main benefits is confidence. So children, they compare each other a lot, especially when they're young, in terms of movement. And if they're not able to do certain things other children or their peers can do, they often are left behind, they lose confidence, they're not even trying. So not even just the sport specific aspect, also the psychological aspect gets left behind. They start to give up, not even trying. So that's a very difficult way to continue in life. Another main reason for developing a broad base in the beginning is that they're more likely to keep doing sports for the entire life. That's proven by research. And what is also critical is children's brains grow much better when they move and build a versatile foundation. Children learn a lot when they're very young by moving. Okay, every time they move, their cells in their brain fire. So it's critical to move a lot and to make it versatile, to have a faster and better brain. And I hand it over to Shrika, see what his thoughts are.
Yeah, definitely the motor skills are very important for lifelong enjoyment of physical activity. From 3 to 6 years or 7 years, I want kids to do a lot of motor skill activities which are age appropriate again. So once they have that foundation well built, then any sport they take into, they have that confidence and the motivation to do that the sport well. So that's very important. And the other thing is like some parents think that these motor skills are only for kids who are goal oriented towards sports. It's not like that. These motor skills are universal and it's for every kid. It's a must at that age. From there what happens is this is a foundation. On this they build on that. Like from this some people will go into elite like top player athletes, some go into play for college, and some will learn these skills so that they can play recreationally. So what happens like once we grow up and we do a work at a company and come back home, what do? When you have this kind of skills at a very young age, you're able to go to a recreational center and play tennis or badminton, anything. These skills are the foundation for that.
It's definitely the likelihood that children will keep, or when they become adults, they will keep doing a sport, because eventually most people want to play a game or play a sport that is fun. But if they don't have the skills,
Right.
and they need the critical thing is that the best window to learn those basic skills is between 3 to 7. If you miss that gap, you can always catch up, but it's way harder. And if they do have that foundation, the adults eventually, or the adolescents, they're way more likely to be able to do a sport and also enjoy it. If they don't have the skills, it's very unlikely that they keep doing it. And it's just for the health reason. It's a massive plus and a need.
Right. And I want to add to that point, Dominic, like once they've developed these foundational motor skills, I want every kid to play a sport. Even though it's not for making a player, but I want all the kids to play a sport, an individual sport and a team sport. Once they do that, they know how to work in teams, they know how to give respect to the opponents, they know how to be disciplined when they're doing that, they know how to put more effort when they're playing the game, and putting a hard work in practices. All these skills are life lessons. Like when they go to, suppose say after all these skills they have learned through sport, and they go to a company to work. There you're not working alone, you need to work with teams, and sometimes you need to handle pressure. All these things sport teaches. So it's very important to develop the motor skills and put all these kids to play some sport, not professionally, at least play some team sport and individual sport, because sports teaches a lot. It's a classroom in itself. Once they develop all these skills, in any part of their life they can succeed with all these life skills.
Yeah. And I think for that reason it's critical that you actually have programs for that age group that are age appropriate. It's not realistic if you have children 7 years old and they have no foundation and you send them to a cricket club
Right.
and have them expect that they do well at the cricket club. You know, if
Right.
child is not very talented, it's more likely to
Right.
give up and maybe even never continue with any other sports because he or she had such a bad experience.
Right.
So the programs that they need to be existing, and they also need to be age appropriate. And
Right.
the age appropriate at that age is motor skill development. It should be broad,
Right.
versatile, and not sport specific.
Right, right. And if you see your kids dropping out from sports and they're not showing any interest doing physical activity, you need to try motor skill programs. That's and you need to find coaches who are very fun and who gives the complete ownership to the child in doing this kind of a programs.
Yeah, I think it's important that there's not many
Right.
programs out there in most countries in the world,
Right.
and they need a little bit of both. Okay, they need fun and they need learning.
Right.
You can't just do one or the other. Only learning, it's not very fun for children. They're not
Right.
that interested at that young age. And only fun, they're not going to learn the necessary skills to be later able to play any sports.
Right.